Have you ever walked into a room, stood there, and thought, why am I here? You're not alone. Most of us struggle to recall little things, names, dates, where we left the keys. It can be frustrating, even embarrassing. But what if I said that turning your memory into a superpower is not just possible, it's surprisingly simple? Today, we're going to journey into a world where remembering anything is not about brute force but imagination. This world is your memory palace. Close your eyes for a second and think back to a childhood memory. A warm summer day, playing outside, the smell of grass, laughter in the distance. Notice how these memories just stick, even if you haven't thought about them in years. Why? Because our brains remember places and emotions more easily than dry facts. This is what makes the memory palace so powerful. But let me tell you a quick story. Imagine a young man named Sam struggling to pass his exams. Every night he'd sit with his books, repeating and repeating. But come test day, his mind would go blank. Sound familiar? Then one day he stumbled upon the memory palace method, a trick used by ancient Greeks and still practiced by memory champions. By creating vivid, strange images and placing them in his childhood home, Sam's memory turned razor sharp. He went from failing grades to becoming the top of his class. If Sam can do it, so can you. Let's break it down. Think about your home. You know every room, every little detail without even thinking about it. The couch, the pictures on the wall where you put your shoes. Now imagine that instead of just a couch, it's a couch with a giant orange gorilla sitting on it reading a book. You'll never forget that image, will you? This is how the memory palace works. You take something you need to remember and turn it into something unforgettable by making it vivid and placing it somewhere familiar. Here's how I used it in my own life. I used to forget names. No matter how hard I tried, they'd slip away. So I started picturing each person with a funny or memorable image. Bob with a balloon on his head. Sarah as a queen with a scepter. Suddenly names stuck like glue, but there's more to this than just fun images. Science has shown that when you create a memory palace, you're tapping into your brain's natural navigation system. You see, our ancestors used spatial memory to survive, remembering where food was, where dangers lurked. A study from Radboud University even showed that people trained in this method for a few weeks had permanent changes in their brain activity. Their memory wasn't just better, it was transformed. Another example, Joshua Foer, a journalist, tried it for a year. He started as an average guy who couldn't remember where he left his keys. 1 year later, he was the U.S. memory champion. No special talent, just dedication to using this method. So, how can you build your own memory palace? Let's start together. Pick a familiar place. It could be your childhood home, your current apartment, or even your favorite walking route. Got it? Now think of something you want to remember, like a shopping list. Bananas, eggs, milk. Picture it, a giant banana sliding down the stairs. Eggs juggling in the kitchen, milk pouring endlessly into a sink. The stranger, the better. You'll be amazed at how quickly your memory grows. In fact, surveys of students using this technique reported up to a 65% improvement in their recall of facts and figures within weeks. Here's a fun fact. In a 2013 competition, memory athletes memorized hundreds of names, numbers, even entire decks of cards. The secret? Not a better brain, just better use of their imagination and location. Now, you might be thinking, sure, this sounds cool, but is it practical for everyday life? Absolutely. Think of your next work presentation. Instead of cramming facts, you can walk through your mental palace and see each idea laid out before you. Need to remember history dates? Turn 1776 into a dancing eagle on your couch. Sounds silly, but it works. I know it can feel a bit strange at first, but remember Sam? He thought so too, until it worked. Here's another story. Years ago, Raj struggled to remember important moments with loved ones. Birthdays, stories they'd tell him. It hurt to forget. But when he started using a memory palace, he created a special place in his mind. A garden filled with memories. Now every time he walked through it, he remembered those special stories and moments vividly. It's like a treasure chest he can open whenever he wants. If you're just starting out, don't worry about building an elaborate palace. Begin small. Choose 5 things you need to remember today. Create a room for each. Make it funny, colorful, or downright weird. You'll be surprised by how quickly it sticks. Still need convincing? There's an inspiring story of a man named Boris Conrad. He's a neuroscientist and memory athlete. He once memorized over 200 words in 15 minutes. Boris says he isn't special, just practiced. And that's the key. Your mind is capable of so much more than you've been taught. The memory palace isn't just for exams or parties, it's for truly experiencing and remembering your life. If you're ready to tap into this ancient yet simple technique, give it a try today. If this resonated with you, subscribe to Universal Insights, where we explore the mind's vast mysteries. Share this with friends who'd love to make their memory stronger. And drop a comment. What would you store in your memory palace?